Good morning, everybody. It's Friday! Friday. What's everybody up to this morning? If you see my thumbnail, we have officially become part of the list of places that are getting that flash flood warning message. And this is what I was talking about when it started happening in Texas. I remembered getting messages like this all of the time and never really okay, cool. Most of the time, the places that it says are going to be flash flooded aren't even flooded. So why are we getting the message? Well, yesterday we did get a little bit of flooding, and it was minor. Like, we could drive through it for the most part, but at the same time, like, you could tell it rained and it flash flooded nowhere. It flash rained, maybe. Like, it literally went from 0 to 60 to where it was like not raining at all, and then it was just like the sky unleashed on us, and it was raining so hard. I had customers in the building that would not get out for like 20 minutes, but it came and went, and then it came and went again. So it was just like, this is weird. Usually rain doesn't, I don't know. I feel like weather has been getting different on a daily basis. Like, it's a hit or a miss. I feel like every time the meteorologists have to tell us how the weather is, they have no clue. So they don't really, they like guesstimate, and then they tell us, and then it's not true. Like, lately I've been, because like when we go to Busch Gardens or something, I'm always like, all right, what's the weather going to be? So I try to look at the radar or the predictions, and it's like, it says it's going to rain. We might not go. But then I'm like looking outside. I'm like, it looks perfectly fine here in Virginia Beach. So like in Williamsburg, which is an hour, maybe an hour 45 away, it's not much different according to this live radar that I'm looking at. So why they're saying it's going to rain? Well, so then we'll go there and it won't rain. And I'm always like, well, if I had listened to the freaking forecast that I supposedly saw, I would have been missing out. Like, why even look at it anymore? I could probably predict it better than they can based on how bad my bones hurt. I'm 42, I'll be 43 this year, and I swear I can predict weather based on if I have a headache or if I have aches and pains somewhere. Push one in the chat if you guys are that same way, or is it just me? But at 42, I didn't think that would be happening quite yet. But here we are. I'm like, I have a headache. Either it's a full moon. Thank you, Elena. I had a message. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Sorry, I got distracted now with that message. You guys are all just like me. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was pretty much everybody that I know. But why did he just message me that? My kid's other parent literally just doesn't, he just does whatever he wants. I'm not a fan, so yeah. Everyday life, right? Good to see everybody. So everybody else is like me. That's good to know. Thank you, Helena. Make sure you tell Helena thank you if you got a membership this morning. You're the best, Helena. But yeah, morning issues, PJ. Yeah, morning issues with PJ. I got my coffee though. So as you can see, I'm not very slow. Like I usually am slow if I don't have my coffee. Like, you could tell the difference between yesterday's stream and today's stream. It's like, today I had my coffee. I drank a decent amount of it already. And then yesterday I hadn't had coffee at all yet. So I'm just like, yesterday I'm talking like this. And I'm like, all right, guys. So, yeah, I don't really have much else to say. And then today I'm just like, whoa, what's up, everybody? That's the difference. So, in case you can't tell, that's the difference. Let me see. You guys are all just still saying good morning, but Have you guys received a flash flood warning lately, or have you had one before, and what do you do when you get one? Because, like, for the most part, I think I got 2 yesterday, and I kind of just looked at it like, oh, okay, whatever, cool. And for those poor girls at that camp, I'm like, would they have known? First of all, there were children as young as like 7, I believe. And at 7, I don't think I had my daughter with a cell phone. But if she was at camp, I think I would have made sure she had one. So I don't know. But the messages that came through, basically, just like every other time, are just flash flood warning, like I got, like the one in my thumbnail. I don't know that would have did anything for me. We literally would have just all got swept away. I mean, I can't even imagine. And these poor children, like, oh God. But the fact that it's happened before, that's what irks me. I didn't know the extent of like how it had happened before. And that makes me mad, because if it happened before and there was no proper alert system in place before, what is the problem? Like, why wouldn't you get something set up immediately in order to rectify that it's happened? Not so that it could happen again, and then here we are again. But I mean, I don't know. They're gonna be digging out bodies for a while, I believe. And I know that's gruesome, trigger warning. It's a horrific scenario down there, I believe. I don't think they're even showing us a quarter of it, even though we're getting all of the sensationalized stories. Like, they're just amping it up to the max. Like, I can't even look at any of the stuff without tearing up. I mean, it's horrific. Lived through a flood in 99. I packed a small bag and headed out. National Guard came through and took people out in rafts. Wow, in stitches. I watch Max Velocity Weather Channel YouTube every morning. Lots of rain this weekend, 3 to 7 inches, and possibly more floods. Wow. I think I follow that one also. Ryan Hall, y'all, like everybody else, I follow. And those guys are pretty good at weather. I don't understand. Like, what is it? YouTube that's taken over the entirety of the media on social media, like the newscaster people and the freaking weather people. So we just watch YouTubers now. But I'm a YouTuber, I guess, so that's okay with me. But they seem to be accurate. And for earthquakes, I watch Dutch Sense, even though he's not up there anymore, really. He got taken down. He predicts earthquakes based on something that's, I guess, frowned upon by the National Society of Earthquakers. YouTube is taken over for now, for sure. Dutch Sense, yep. It's all one word. He's on Twitter, I think, but, and he might still stream on Twitch, but he predicts earthquakes based on, something that's like not, I don't know how to explain it. Like, he actually predicts them, and the, people that do earthquakes at their geological center or whatever that actually, gives us the warnings. I don't know the terms. They don't do the things the way he does. And, he's actually really pretty accurate. And so they claim that you can't predict earthquakes, but he's saying that you can. And he has like a foolproof way. And then he's actually showed it before. It's actually pretty fascinating. I find it fascinating. I don't know that I can do the whole equation, but I followed it for a hot minute, because it was just in 2011. My daughter was born in 2011, and like a month, not even after she was born, there was an earthquake. She was, oh my God, I'll never forget the day. She was sleeping in her playpen in the living room, and I was sitting in the living room couch, just turned on the TV, and all of a sudden it was like the lamp is moving, the fan is moving, and I'm just like looking around. I'm like, and in Virginia Beach, earthquakes are not a thing. So I'm like, holy shit, what just happened? I'm like looking around, it's just me and the baby. And I'm like, did we just have an earthquake? And like, we don't have anything to alert us, even though I don't really think it would have alerted us, because I think it was like a 3.0, something small. But So I'm like checking social media. I'm like, what the hell? Did we just have an earthquake? And of course, you know, social media alerts you first nowadays. And basically, I find on Facebook all these people talking about Virginia Beach, we just had an earthquake. And so I'm like, holy shit. And so I got kind of into it after that. I found it fascinating because, like, I didn't know that we had earthquakes. And there we are with an earthquake. And I tell my kid all the time she slept through an earthquake because she didn't wake up. Thank God. Because, you know, babies, and she was little. So yeah, there's that story about earthquakes. But I remember that when my mom felt it in Leesburg, Virginia. Yeah, I mean, I think we even felt it up in New Jersey. Thank you, Cable. You're the best. Thank you so much. We got a $2 train over here at PJ Visions. Choo-choo. I think we even felt it in New Jersey. I have family in Virginia at the time. Yeah, I mean, and it was small. I think the reason you guys felt it, though, is because it was up, like the epicenter was in like Fredericksburg or closer to Richmond, so it's a little bit up from where I am, but it wasn't that big. I need to look up how big it was actually number wise, but I thought it was like 3 point something. So like, but then again, I don't know what a big earthquake feels like. That felt big as shit to me because I was like, damn, the house is moving. What is going on? And then I'm like thinking, like, am I going to have to take the baby and run? Like, what are we doing? And, you know, we didn't have a plan in place because in Virginia, you don't have earthquakes. But that's another thing. All of these places, like the camp, should have had a place like where they would gather every couple years to update their preparedness plan. It's like, I know that the little campsite or whatnot is not like a big business or corporation, but still, there should have been, like, according to FEMA or something, you know, like there should have been a safety preparedness plan. Woo, choo-choo! Every place that I've ever worked at, not necessarily corporation-wise or, you know, the medium-sized company or the bigger companies, difference is like they all have certain things in place, but with the corporations, they have bigger things than the smaller ones, of course, because they have to, by law, prevent themselves from being sued. And so they have like very strict, this is what you do in the emergency situation of this and this and that. Like they have different scenarios lined out. So in case this happens, you're going to get a call from here and they're going to direct you to here. And then you're going to have an operations manager. And then that manager, if he's unavailable for whatever reason, is going to hand it down to this manager. And the person in charge under that is this person. I mean, it's outlined to the T. And then in case of emergency that's unpredictable, that's, you know, not on this list, we're gonna depend on so-and-so, who's gonna tell so-and-so, and then so-and-so is going to pass down the role to this person in case they're not here, and so on and so on. And so people would have known to monitor things the second that possibility of a flash flood came out, which I believe was a while ago. How are your nails doing? Oh, you didn't want to know. I'm so disappointed with nails right now. It hasn't been a full 2 weeks, and this is what I was talking about. That my nails grow out so fast, they start looking really bad way before 2 weeks. And that one guy that I had found that was really good, he would make sure that they lasted at least a full 2 weeks just by kind of pushing back the cuticles. But I read you guys' comments, and I guess they don't do that because of infection or whatever. But it just, I mean, you don't even want to see. It's like they're coming up here. So like my hair's getting caught, and I can't do this without, well, now I did it. But you can see it's caught in this nail because that's where it's been getting caught in. But I don't know where I'm going to go next or if I'm going to fix them or what. But that's why I stopped going, because the guy that I was going to just vanished. The place wouldn't tell me where he went. And every time that I go somewhere and ask for certain things or ask for their best person or whatever it is that I've done, they're just like, here you go. And then I sit and then I just let them do whatever. And then I leave wanting to cry because this is, yeah. So Same thing with my toes last time. My toes were just like, she didn't even do the basics. And I'm like, all right, whatever. But I even still give them a tip. I still freaking pay what I'm supposed to pay. I'm just like, I must have stupid written on my forehead. But now that I got off topic, we were discussing the freaking event planning, like for emergencies. It's like, it's important. And I even think that families, sorry guys, I even think families should have something in place, like for emergency situations, like in public. I feel like that family should have a safe word. I think it was Blue Bloods. I was watching the show Blue Bloods, which they've had like 1 billion seasons. I think they're finally ending it, but it's like a cop show where like it's a cop family and then you follow them all around. But they have like a safe word in case they were all together in a scenario where, and I don't even know, like, how do you come up with this stuff? Like, how do you come up with this to plan it to be in the situation to possibly have to use this code word? And the code word was like, not pineapple, but I always think pineapple. When anyone says code word, I instantly go to pineapple. But it was a safe word that they said in order to notify one of them to duck because the other one was going to shoot the person behind them holding them hostage or something. It was weird. I don't know. But that's the extent of their preparedness, which I think is over the top. But as a regular family, I think you should probably get some stuff together in like a go bag, because I have a go bag. Even though I need to update it, because I think I have like MREs in my go bag, which for those of you guys that don't know, those are like astronaut food packets. That's what I call them, but they're just freeze-dried food, I think, that you just warm up. And what does MRE stand for? Meal. Does anybody know what's an MRE stand for? Meal. Dagnabbit. Tom Selleck from Magnum PI plays in Blue Blood. Yep, he does. They had some news interviews. Their emergency response into code red almost an hour before the flood in Texas. It got me looking up FEMA maps in my area history. Now it's scary. Yeah, definitely. Meal ready to eat. Thank you. Thank you. I knew it was something so simple, but I'm sitting here like, what does it stand for? Meal something. But yeah, thank you. So yeah, I think they expire, even though I think they last a really long time, but I think they do still expire. So I'm pretty sure they're expired by now. But I mean, in an emergency, you know, you're going to eat whatever. But the fact that Code Red went out an hour before the flood in Texas, that makes me still think, like, even if it was an hour, it would have been the middle of the night. I believe it was 3 something that the flood took over, or 4 a.m. And so is that an hour from that? I mean, that would have still been literally the middle of the night. And if they got a text message, like I showed you on my thumbnail, most of us here, when I asked earlier, said that you guys wouldn't do anything with that. I wouldn't do anything with that. So, like, did it go from that message to a more urgent message? Or did they get actual phone call? I mean, what do they actually get with the emergency notification? Because from what I see on my end, from what we usually get, it's just text messages. And so, I mean, cool, we get these all the time, no big deal, whatever. Maybe we need sirens everywhere for every city, every state, every place. Because now it's like most places that you would think that don't have the issue. Yesterday, Boston, Braintree. That's where freaking Officer John O'Keefe was born in Braintree, Massachusetts. It's by Boston. And there was horrific footage out of that. I don't believe anyone perished. Thank you, Miss Lady Justice. I love that party hat. But they didn't, pass away. They were still very inconvenienced. Their cars were still all messed up on the road, flooded out. And I mean, man, that place doesn't get rain like that. Not that I've ever seen before. Good morning, Connie sister. And so it's like now, not only do we need sirens in places that do have issues, but we also are having issues in new places where we've never seen issues before. And so now it's like, should we have some type of alert set in place everywhere? I mean, I thought we did that already. I really did. I don't hear my text alerts at night. Anyone that knows me, call me if it's a night and need me. So exactly, I wouldn't have heard it either. I actually have all my alerts silenced because I hate them. I get annoyed by alerts, and I don't like to see a lot of notifications on my phone because it gives me, I have OCD. So like all my stuff is cleared out. Jimmy's phone, he's got like thousands of notifications. It gives me anxiety. Like I literally can't even look at his phone. But I would have cleared out all my notifications and I would have gone to sleep, and you wouldn't have been able to hear anything on my phone because my shit is silenced. And then I would have just been washed away in the middle of the night with no out of sight, out of mind. I mean, I don't even know how to explain like what would have occurred. My hubby has explained that weather manipulation does exist. It's for agriculture purposes, but I don't know, sus to me. And that's true too. There's a company, I guess, that's called Rainmakers, that's been known to spray in that area and in California, and I think possibly in Massachusetts. They were trying to connect that particular company to the events that were occurring where there was flooding. I don't necessarily know if it's that company per se, but I do know it exists. And this is kind of connected to what we were talking about yesterday when I think I said MK Ultra. All right, so in the 50s they did MK Ultra. They supposedly were discovered that they were doing it, and now they supposedly no longer do it. Do you believe that they don't do it? I don't. And then we talked about Agent Orange. They did that where they were spraying into the air and the ground troops got infected by it, because I mean, if you're going to spray it, it's going to get on everybody, and if you see your people are down there, you probably wouldn't want to spray it, right? And they still did. So the people got infected, and basically the same concept is in play when you think of weather manipulation or aerosol spray that comes out of planes, where we were told all our lives those are not, chem trails, but they actually were. So again, going with yesterday's how I've been lied to all my life and I have trust issues, but people still say that those are just from airplanes, and I'm just like, you are just so, like, it's not even worth arguing it, because it's like, some people see it, some people choose not to see it, because like in the Olympics, we freaking made sure that it didn't rain. I think it was China, and I mean China definitely technically did it, but there was an Olympic game set, and they made sure, they wanted to make sure it didn't rain, so they sprayed something in order to keep it from raining. So like, I mean, if we had that before, why wouldn't we still have that? Like, why, you really think that we just don't utilize that anymore, or we don't utilize that anymore? Come on now. People just think about it. And everybody that's just so complacent and it's more comfortable not to know that it's happening, you're going to eventually find out, and then it's going to be even more scary for you in the long run. Hey, Lexi Texie. Oh, I'm sorry. Prayers for your mom, Lexi. It's best to look into everything and anything. Can't trust. I agree. Some people just, and then, when you discuss it with, I used to talk about it with my dad all the time. And he's just like, I think that he's more scared to know that it exists than to just not. Same, I'll be 47 July 10. Bridget, is it your birthday? Happy birthday. But basically just, I mean, it does exist. And, let's just say they weren't weather manipulating that day. Let's just say it didn't happen that week or that month even. But if we had been messing around with Mother Nature, manipulating weather a year from today, it's still going to affect the current weather status now. So it's like, if you mess with something and you adjust it, like let's say you have a clock on your wall, and let's say you just mess with it just a little bit, adjust the setting somehow, or adjust the time by a couple of seconds, or torque it a little way so that you add like a different knob to it, like a knob, whatever it is. You're not going to have it work properly. And then the more that you mess with it or add to it, the more components to the mess up there will be. So like eventually, a year from the time that you started messing with it, the time's not going to be accurate. The stuff is going to be messed up. It's going to be wonky. It's going to sound an alarm at the wrong time. You see what I mean? So it's like, once you manipulate it once, it's never going to be the same. And then when you mess with it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 more times, it's going to end up being wonky. So even if it was not necessarily a weather manipulation event right then and there, it could possibly simply be from the manipulation of weather from God knows when, like 1956. They called it geoengineering a couple of years ago and admitted they were doing it, like in Harvard. So like, and the argument I had with my dad, I had to remember, is that he was like, well, why would they be spraying the air? And he thought of it as me saying like, oh, they're being nefarious and, like they're giving us like chemicals so we can all die. No, that's not what I was thinking at all when I said it. I was thinking like they're trying to produce rain, or they're trying to block out harmful sun rays, because supposedly we have a hole in that, and like, don't use global warming, whatever. But yet, they've got all these people. Look at that, I got an envelope. Oh, snap. I love it. I love those little things. I stop every time. I'm like, oh my God, squirrel. But yeah, no, and cloud seeding, geoengineering, whatever they want to call it. Ultimately, they've been doing it. They do it still. I don't think it's being done to poison us, like some of the truth channels, like the truther, prepper, scare tactic channels, I call them. They always want to say like, oh, they're hurting us for some reason. I don't think it necessarily was done to hurt us. I think that it was done either to block out the sun, because there's a hole, which the big guys in the corporations will probably start driving their electric vehicles instead of going in jets and stuff, that, you know what I mean. But hey, us little people have to abide by the climate change rules, but they don't, so it is what it is. I gotta run. I literally just looked up and realized that it's 7:51 and I gotta get into work, and it's Friday. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for being here with me every day. You guys are amazing. I will catch you guys probably next Monday, because I'm taking a week off. I'm taking a weekend off, which I always do. Bicycle.